Hello Lakers fan, if you are one of those who are always up to date with the news about our Lakers, then you need to stay tuned to what is coming up on our Lakers news channel. I am preparing exclusive coverage on the possible signings of Lakers, and what I can tell you is that rumors are catching fire on social media, and if you don't want to miss any information, stay tuned. We have exclusive news every day. If you are a true Lakers and don't want to be left out of the news, be sure to subscribe. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Let's go to the video.
Bobby, staying on trades, when I talked to Rich, he told me that he has not had any discussion with the Lakers about wanting a trade on the back end of this statement. He did say that 4 teams have contacted him in the last 24 hours wanting to talk trades, but Rich didn't have any substantive conversations with those teams either. Right now, LeBron is focused on playing on a championship caliber roster. Rich told me, there's no guarantees in building a championship caliber roster, but we know what it looks like and what it doesn't look like. And we'll see if in a week from now, when Rob Pelinka is finished doing his work with this roster, if it looks like a winning, realistic situation.
Rich Paul ensured Lakers and Luka Doncic weren't blindsided by LeBron comments. The announcement that LeBron James would opt into the final year of his contract with the Los Angeles Lakers should have brought clarity, but instead, it sparked fresh speculation following bold remarks from his longtime agent and Clutch Sports CEO, Rich Paul. Shortly after the news broke, Paul shared that LeBron was still fully focused on competing for championships, and that both he and James were carefully evaluating what path made the most sense for the final stage of his legendary career. Naturally, this raised eyebrows, especially when paired with the idea that LeBron might even consider asking for a trade if he believed his title chances were stronger elsewhere. Yet despite the stir those comments created, key people inside the NBA weren't caught off guard, especially not the Lakers or Luka Doncic. According to Dave McMenamin of ESPN, Paul made sure to communicate clearly ahead of time, informing Lakers GM Rob Pelinka and Doncic's business manager Laura Beth Seeger about both LeBron's decision to stay and the messaging that would follow. This level of transparency speaks volumes. In today's NBA, where trust and communication shape everything from trades to team chemistry, making sure all sides are aligned is essential. Rather than blindsiding the Lakers or Doncic's camp, Paul and LeBron made sure everyone was on the same page, a strong signal that their relationships remain intact and respectful. LeBron is in control, but not looking to leave. It's worth noting that LeBron has a no-trade clause, giving him full control over his future. If a time ever comes where he decides a move is necessary, he can choose when and where. But for now, that doesn't appear to be the goal. In fact, Rich Paul later clarified that his comments weren't meant to imply any sort of brewing trade or rift with the Lakers. There have been no discussions about moving LeBron. Instead, the message was simple: LeBron wants to win, and he's committed to helping Los Angeles remain a contender while also respecting the team's efforts to build a future around Luka Doncic. Looking ahead, it's been an unpredictable summer in the NBA, and the waters around LeBron are rarely still. But at this point, the tone seems more cooperative than confrontational. LeBron is staying, and while his eyes remain firmly set on championship contention, he's giving the Lakers a real opportunity to prove they can help him get there. The takeaway? There's no drama, just a clear, honest push to maximize these final years of greatness. What Rich Paul's comments really signaled. Rich Paul's recent statements weren't just about LeBron James opting into the final year of his contract. They were about intent. While confirming LeBron's commitment to staying in Los Angeles, Paul made it clear that James is still determined to compete at the highest level. That message, while subtle, sent ripples throughout the league. Paul emphasized that LeBron's decision to stay was rooted in his desire to win, but also hinted that both he and LeBron would continue to evaluate the Lakers' direction. It wasn't a trade request, far from it, but it was a reminder: at this stage of LeBron's career, contention is the only priority. No one caught off guard. Despite the media stir, both the Lakers front office and Luka Doncic's management team were reportedly informed in advance of both the contract decision and the tone of the statements that would follow. This level of communication reinforces that there's still mutual respect and transparency among all parties involved. It also suggests that the Lakers were not blindsided, which may have been exactly the point. LeBron and his team wanted to be clear, but not confrontational. They're giving the Lakers a chance to show they're serious about building a winner. Lakers now under pressure. The Lakers are facing significant pressure this offseason. While they've made small roster moves and explored potential trades, the front office hasn't yet made a definitive leap that shows they're going all in. With LeBron's contract now locked in, the question becomes, What will the Lakers do to match his urgency? There have been rumors of interest in strengthening the front court, and the possibility of pairing LeBron with another star has surfaced. But until real moves happen, speculation will continue. LeBron's camp made it clear, he's not just here to finish out his career, he's here to compete. Luka Doncic's role in the picture. As the Lakers begin transitioning toward a younger core, Luka Doncic is clearly being positioned as a future face of the franchise. LeBron appears ready to mentor and support that shift, as long as it doesn't come at the cost of competitiveness. Balancing the present and the future is no easy task. And while Doncic has expressed a willingness to grow with the Lakers, his long-term commitment may also depend on how the team performs in the short term. What happens next? The ball is now in the Lakers' court. If they want to keep LeBron fully bought in, and show Luka that they're building something sustainable, the next few weeks are critical. A meaningful roster upgrade could solidify the team's competitive standing and prevent any further questions about LeBron's future. Right now, there's no active trade discussion. But in a league where things change quickly, the tone of Paul's comments was clear: if the Lakers don't act, LeBron might. Bottom line. LeBron James is staying, but he's watching closely. His loyalty isn't in question, but his patience could be. For now, everyone is aligned. But the Lakers must prove they're willing to meet the moment. Otherwise, this summer could take an unexpected turn. The Lakers may have no choice but to bet on DeAndre Ayton, flaws and all. After striking out on Miles Turner, Brook Lopez, and Clint Capella, the Los Angeles Lakers are running out of reliable options to fill a critical hole at center. With time ticking and the market thinning, one name still standing is former No. 1 overall pick DeAndre Ayton, a talented, but at times polarizing, big man who could offer both promise and problems. A desperate need for front-court help. Entering this offseason, the Lakers front office had a clear goal: find a rim-protecting pick-and-roll big who could complement Luka Doncic and support LeBron James in what could be his final push for a title. Turner, Capella, and Lopez were all strong fits on paper, but the Lakers failed to land any of them. Meanwhile, other potential options like Kevin Looney, Naz Reid, and Luke Kornet signed elsewhere, leaving LA with few paths forward. That's where Ayton comes in. Recently bought out by the Portland Trail Blazers, Ayton is far from a perfect option, but he might be the best one left. Despite questions about his competitiveness and work ethic, his physical tools, experience, and scoring ability make him an intriguing addition to a team still hoping to contend in a stacked Western Conference. A player still trying to rewrite his narrative. Ayton has often found himself under scrutiny. Before even playing a single NBA game, he drew criticism for saying his definition of success was reaching a second contract, a comment that was later clarified, but not forgotten. During his time in Portland, reports surfaced about inconsistent effort, missed rehab sessions, and emotional outbursts. Those issues, fairly or not, have shaped how teams evaluate him. Ironically, some of the same criticisms once surrounded Luka Doncic, particularly around his conditioning and attitude during his time in Dallas. Mavs executive Nico Harrison referenced those concerns when defending his decision to trade Luka to the Lakers in a blockbuster deal for Anthony Davis. Now the Lakers could be facing a bold experiment, pairing two supremely talented players with similar reputations, and hoping the upside outweighs the baggage. But could it actually work? Despite the chatter, Ayton remains a productive player. In his 7 seasons, he's averaged 16.4 points, 10.5 rebounds, and over a block per game. He's an efficient interior scorer, and at just 26, he still has time to grow, especially in the right environment. Importantly, Ayton and Doncic have mutual respect. Their on-court chemistry could flourish in a system that finally gives both structure and support. Surrounding them with LeBron James, Austin Reeves, and Rui Hachimura, and allowing Ayton to anchor the paint, could create a balanced and dynamic starting five. Add in the newly signed Jake LaRavia, plus a bench featuring Jared Vanderbilt, Gabe Vincent, and Bronny James, and the Lakers have the pieces to stay competitive, even without a star-studded frontcourt. Final thoughts. No, DeAndre Ayton isn't a perfect fit. He doesn't stretch the floor, and he's not known for elite defense. But he's capable, experienced, and still offers upside. More importantly, playing for a team that believes in him, and needs him, could be the key to reigniting his motivation. The Lakers aren't looking for perfect anymore. They're looking for possible, and with Ayton, there's a real chance for redemption, for both the player and the franchise. What comes next for the Lakers and DeAndre Ayton? With the Lakers running out of viable options at center, DeAndre Ayton stands out as the most realistic and impactful target left on the board. Following his buyout from Portland, Ayton is now an unrestricted free agent, and for a team like Los Angeles, his availability is both timely and necessary. From a roster-building standpoint, Ayton checks a lot of boxes. He's athletic, he has size, and he can rebound and finish around the rim, something the Lakers sorely lacked during stretches last season. While his reputation has taken a hit due to questions about his focus and consistency, his raw production remains solid. He averaged 14.4 points and over 10 rebounds per game last season, despite playing in a challenging environment with limited structure. A calculated risk that could pay off. Yes, there are concerns. Ayton's effort has been inconsistent, and stories from his past teams have painted a picture of a player who hasn't always embraced accountability. But context matters. In Phoenix and Portland, Ayton was often caught in transitional phases, surrounded by uncertainty and inconsistent leadership. In Los Angeles, the circumstances are different. He would be joining a team with a clear identity, led by veterans like LeBron James and rising stars like Luka Doncic. The structure, expectations, and spotlight could be exactly what Ayton needs to refocus and reestablish himself. The Lakers are betting that in a stable, competitive environment, Ayton's strengths will rise to the surface. The bigger picture for the Lakers. Adding Ayton would immediately solidify the Lakers' frontcourt. A projected starting lineup of Luka Doncic, LeBron James, Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura, and Ayton brings balance and depth, with size inside and shooting on the perimeter. Off the bench, players like Jared Vanderbilt, Gabe Vincent, Jake LaRavia, and Bronny James offer energy and versatility. Ayton's ability to anchor the defense, even if not elite, allows the Lakers to protect the paint without relying entirely on aging veterans or undersized forwards. His presence could also unlock more space for Luka to operate in pick-and-roll situations, giving the offense a new dynamic. A defining off-season decision. This move wouldn't be without risk. If Ayton's attitude issues persist, the Lakers could be stuck with a high-cost role player who doesn't match their urgency. But with limited options remaining and a shrinking championship window, the potential reward outweighs the gamble. The Lakers need a center. Ayton needs a fresh start. And both parties need to prove something, to themselves and to the league. Conclusion. DeAndre Ayton may not be the ideal solution, but he might be the right one at the right time. For the Lakers, it's a chance to round out their roster and make a real push in the West. For Ayton, it's a rare opportunity to reset the narrative and play a vital role on a team with championship aspirations. Let me know if you'd like a version for publication, a Lakers-specific fan post, or a follow-up analysis on how this move would affect their long-term strategy. Could DeAndre Ayton be headed to the Lakers? A surprising twist involving Luka Doncic. The NBA world was caught off guard on Sunday afternoon when news broke that DeAndre Ayton had been waived by the Portland Trail Blazers. With free agency officially opening on Monday, the timing of the move sparked immediate speculation, particularly regarding a potential landing spot. And one team stands out, the Los Angeles Lakers. It's no secret that the Lakers have been actively seeking a reliable center since last season. Now, with Ayton suddenly available and walking away from $35.5 million in guaranteed money to hit the open market, many are wondering, does he already have a contender in mind? That sacrifice suggests something bigger than a contract. It suggests Ayton wants a chance to win. Why the Lakers makes sense, for both sides. The Lakers are in win-now mode. With LeBron James still chasing rings and Anthony Davis often playing his best basketball at power forward, adding a mobile, athletic big man like Ayton could be a perfect fit. At just 26, Ayton brings youth, playoff experience, and size to a team that's lacked interior depth since letting go of Dwight Howard and JaVale McGee. Financially, LA may not offer the same paycheck Ayton had in Portland, but they offer something far more valuable: relevance, a championship window, and a fresh start under the bright lights of Hollywood. Ayton and Luka, forever linked by draft history. What makes this story even more compelling is Ayton's unique, and somewhat ironic connection to Luka Doncic. The two were part of the same 2018 NBA draft class. The Phoenix Suns had the No. 1 pick, and passed on Luka to take Ayton. At the time, the decision made sense. Ayton was dominating college basketball at the University of Arizona and looked like a natural fit for the hometown franchise. But as Luka's career skyrocketed, the conversation quickly shifted. While Ayton has had a solid, if inconsistent, career, Luka emerged almost immediately as a generational talent. He claimed Rookie of the Year honors and has since become a 5-time All-Star and 5-time All-NBA selection, a resume Ayton has yet to come close to matching. The numbers tell the story. Career stats comparison. Points per game, Luka, 28.6, Ayton, 16.4. Assists per game, Luka, 8.2, Ayton, 1.6. Rebounds per game, Ayton, 10.5, Luka, 8.6. As expected, Ayton dominates the glass. But in nearly every other category, Luka's impact is generational. So why does this matter? Because if Ayton does join the Lakers, he could be teaming up with the very player who has defined his career narrative from afar. A subtle but powerful story of redemption and reinvention could be taking shape. DeAndre Ayton and the Lakers, a potential fresh start tied to an old draft connection. The news of DeAndre Ayton's buyout from the Portland Trail Blazers on Sunday caught many off guard. With free agency opening immediately after, the decision raised eyebrows, not only because Ayton walked away from $35.5 million in guaranteed money, but because of what it might mean next. That move suggests a player ready to prioritize opportunity and legacy over paycheck. And with the Los Angeles Lakers actively searching for a trusted big man, the timing has only fueled speculation about a possible union. Why Ayton could be a fit in Los Angeles. The Lakers have long sought a dependable center to complement their core. Anthony Davis is most effective at power forward, and the team has lacked consistent size and rim protection since their 2020 title run. Ayton, just 26, still has plenty of upside. He's a mobile, athletic big with playoff experience and solid rebounding numbers. Though not without inconsistency, he could benefit greatly from a clearer role in a winning environment. If Ayton is willing to take a smaller contract to chase a title, Los Angeles offers exactly that. Draft ties with Luka Doncic, a backstory that still echoes. Adding a deeper layer to Ayton's story is his connection with Luka Doncic. Although they've never shared a court as teammates, their names will always be linked. Back in 2018, Ayton was selected first overall by the Phoenix Suns, while Doncic went third. At the time, Ayton was the consensus top college player and a local Arizona favorite, making the Suns' decision appear logical. But in the years that followed, Doncic emerged as a generational talent, earning All-Star and All-NBA honors, while Ayton's trajectory plateaued. That contrast has followed Ayton throughout his career. A fresh chapter with Doncic as a teammate, if such a move materialized, could symbolically close the gap between their divergent paths. What Ayton brings, and what's at stake. While Ayton doesn't match Doncic in scoring or playmaking, he still ranks as one of the better rebounders in the league. He averaged 10.5 rebounds per game across his career, alongside 16.4 points. His presence in the paint could give the Lakers balance, especially in a rotation that leans heavily on perimeter play. However, Ayton's next move carries weight. After a shaky finish in Phoenix and a forgettable stint in Portland, this is more than a roster decision. It's a chance for him to reset the narrative. The bigger picture. Ayton's sudden availability is likely to influence the plans of several teams, not just the Lakers. Contenders looking for size and depth, particularly those with aging centers or shallow frontcourts, could express interest. But for Ayton, choosing the right fit will be critical. A move to Los Angeles offers more than just a role. It offers structure, leadership, and a chance to contribute to a championship run. If handled right, it could be the turning point in his career. Conclusion. DeAndre Ayton now faces a unique opportunity to shift from being defined by the expectations of a No. 1 pick to becoming a valuable piece on a contending team. The Lakers, looking to reinforce their roster and keep pace in a competitive Western Conference, could be the ideal landing spot. Both sides have something to gain. And if this partnership materializes, it won't just be about redemption, it could be about rewriting legacies.